Alright, we're going to put this locking lug spring in this 44 mag barrel. It's pretty easy to do. All you need is a 3 30-seconds punch and a hammer, and I'm doing this right here in the living room floor. All you have to do is basically drive that pin right there out that holds that locking lug in. Usually I put these in a vise to do this, to hold the barrel, but I don't figure most of y'all have a vise, so I thought I'd show you how you can do it in your floor. Put the punch there, and it helps if you're not on carpet or something, because that pin will probably fly out after I drive it out. I'm going to take my hand and push in on the lug just a little bit. And it helps if you have a helper, but my helper's running the camera. Out come the pin. And it's just a little bitty roll pin. You notice the punch is still holding the lugs in. Push on the lugs a little bit. Remove your pin, your punch. Pull the lugs out. And you see they're two pieces. See how they're two-piece lugs? And the roll pin actually sets in that slot right there. And so they go back in like this. Up. Just like that right there. You can see the roll pins out of them. To get the spring out, a lot of times I'll just take the punch, stick in there and pull the spring out. Nothing to it. Then I will take some Q-tips and clean inside of it. Inside here like this, to get the junk out. And you can see this is an older barrel, and you can see how dirty it was. It's a good idea to, well, you've got that apart, to clean it out real good, and I already have, but put a little bit of oil in there to keep the corrosion. I'm going to put this Bellm spring in it, which is shorter and stronger than the factory spring, as you can see right there. And the advantage to a stronger spring is, if you will look at these lugs, they do have a taper to them. And by putting more pressure on them, you're pushing the lugs up more in the frame, and you're creating a tighter lockup, which anytime you tighten up the lockup area of an Encore, you get more accuracy. So let's put these back in. First, you got to find your spring. It's here in my hand. And drop it back in there. Just make sure it just goes on down. Get your lugs. Get them straight. Up. Slide them back in. It's important this goes down. If you try to put them upside down, you try to drive the pin in, you will break the lugs. I usually take my punch by pushing in on the lugs and start it in the hole, and say I'll use it as a guide. Mash down on my punch a little bit, and it's as simple as driving that roll pin back in. Hold a little bit of pressure in on the lugs so that you know you're not against them before you drive it all the way in. I just got it started. See how that fell back out. It's all done. It's in. That one's not quite flush, so I'll give it another tap. It's in. Put the barrel back on the frame. Watch it snap shut. Lot stronger engagement than with the original spring.